everyone, it's Noelle. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about one of the skincare and personal care brands that I've grown to love and use. I've been using it for about 3 years now, and it's called Lemongrass House. So in the Philippines, Lemongrass House has been here for about 2 years with branches in, they opened their first branch in Dusit Hotel in Makati, and then their next branch was in Esmason over at the Mall of Asia complex, and their latest branch was the Ayala Mall's the 30th branch. But I first discovered this product all the way in Phuket during one of the many times that I went there for training camp or to talk with my bosses. So I discovered it in Phuket during one of the times that I went there for a training camp. And the thing with training camps is that you're constantly sweating, you're exposed to the elements, you're soaked in chlorinated water, and my skin was like in a horrible state at that point. Not just my facial skin, which is the first thing that really shows any signs of, being haggard from the environment, but also my body skin. It was just super dry, and nothing I slathered on would help. Like if I put lotion on, it just stayed on top of the skin, and it kind of made everything really slippery and uncomfortable, and so I just wasn't really motivated to use any lotion, which led to my skin getting even more and more dehydrated. And so one of my good friends has an aunt who lived there in Phuket, and I got introduced to the aunt, and the aunt said, you know what, when I'm feeling dry and I don't really like a heavy greasy feeling, I use body oil, and this is the brand that I use personally. And she introduced me to Lemongrass House. Lemongrass House is Phuket based. I think it's Phuket grown actually. A lot of their ingredients are sourced locally or within Thailand, and then they do all the processing in their Phuket store. I've actually seen how this is done, and so it's pretty much it's got the least amount of chemical meddling, and so it's pretty much just presses, and some of it is cold pressed, some of it is heat pressed, but pretty much the raw ingredients, you can read them right on the bottles themselves. So Lemongrass House is sulfate-free, paraben-free, and it's never tested on animals, which, if that's a make or break thing for you when it comes to cosmetics, that's something to consider. They've got skincare and facial care and even home products. So pretty much anything that you use on your body or in your home, they've got something for you. These products, not all of them I've used already, but the ones that I have used, I've loved. So I want to introduce you to some of the stuff that I've been using for a really long time, and whenever I use them, I always feel like I'm getting a spa experience, even though I'm not in a spa. And actually, these Lemongrass House products are used in spas, and the room scents are used in hotels as well. So the first thing that I mentioned to you was the body oil. Actually, it's what people commonly think of as massage oil, but then it's a body oil because you can use it on your body even if you're not having a massage, and it really helps to re-moisturize the skin. My first body oil from Lemongrass House was the Royal Lotus. I use it right after my bath. Like, I just pat dry my skin and then I smooth on the oil, and it kind of just gets really absorbed into the body quite quickly, into the skin. There's no greasy feeling afterwards, and if I'm feeling particularly dry, that's the only time that I add a lotion on. This is usually during the dry and somewhat cold months here in the Philippines. towards the summer, I phase out the lotion and just use the body oil. The next product that I ever tried from Lemongrass House was their room and pillow spray. Instead of just spraying your entire room with a deodorizer, why not spray your bed with something, right? So right now I have the Gardenia Aromatic Room and Pillow Spray. What you do is you just spritz it, maybe 3 taps on your bed sheet, and then you flip your pillow under, 2 taps on the pillow underside, and then you flip your pillow back over. And so this makes this kind of makes the scent a little more subtle because it gets muffled under your pillow. But when you lie down and back in it at night, it just smells so good. Some people I know use they use lavender, which is supposed to help you with sleeping. They use a lavender room and pillow spray, and it's supposed to help them sleep a little better. But for me, I like using floral scents in my room just because, and yeah, it always makes me feel good. Another room and pillow spray that I use from Lemongrass House is the Vanilla Absolute. Now this Vanilla Absolute, of course it smells like vanilla, and so it smells a little bit like candy or baked goods and stuff like that, which I obviously love. But the other thing that it does is that it completely cancels out strong odors. So for instance, if somebody's been smoking wherever you are, and you come in and you're like, ah, it smells like smoke. Few taps of this vanilla spray and it's like nobody ever smoked in that room, and it smells like a bakery. In the house, after cooking, let's say something really strong odor like fish, if we fry a fish, afterwards I spray the vanilla pillow spray and then wait for things to settle down, and then afterwards then I spray the room spray that I selected. I have different sprays for each room of the house. So for my room, I have, right now I'm using Frangipani, and then when that runs out, I'm gonna use Gardenia. For the outside, for the sala, kitchen, and dining room, I use Champaka. For my parents' room, I bought them Blue Chamomile, which is a really soothing scent, and it's a different scent to everything else because it's not as floral. So that's great because my dad sleeps in that room as well. Another thing I use the pillow spray for is I actually spray the inside of my suitcase with it before I go on a trip. And that, you know, that gives my clothes a nice scent when I open the suitcase. And the scent stays in there for quite a while. So even when I have a suitcase full of dirty laundry, it doesn't stink up as bad when I open it again when I come home. The next thing that I've tried and loved from Lemongrass House is their all-natural mosquito repellent, and it's made with these ingredients: pure lavender, citronella, orange peel, and geranium essential oils. This bottle says that you can use this insect repellent on your skin, or you can spray it into a room just to deflect any bugs, and I've found it particularly effective against mosquitoes. I use off lotion sometimes, but it just feels so cloying on the skin, and you tend to smell really strongly after some time, especially if you've sweated with the off lotion. But with this, it's really light on your skin. It smells pleasant. You don't smell like a citronella plant actually, and it's really effective in warding off the mosquitoes. I personally tend to attract mosquitoes. Oof. And this has helped me avoid getting bit by mosquitoes, I would say about 95% of the time. And that 5% of the time that I do get bit, it's on a place that I haven't sprayed with this all-natural mosquito repellent. Another product that I've tried but I don't have bottles of because I keep getting more and more sunscreen bottles as like samples from events, and I haven't been able to use them all up. So yeah, Lemongrass House also has a nice sunscreen. It's very high SPF, And that the one time or the few times that I used the sample sunscreen that I got from them, it stayed very well on my skin. It didn't sweat off too quickly. And I could actually have seen myself using it. So obviously I've been using Lemongrass House for about 3 years now, and I do need to repurchase every so often. So last week I went to the Dusit branch to restock up on the body oils, the room sprays, and the mosquito repellent. Hey guys, we are at Lemongrass House. This is their Dusit Hotel branch. So today we are looking for the vanilla room and linen spray, the frangipani version of the same. I need some body oils and their mosquito repellent, which is my favorite. All of those body oils are based off of these essential oils, which are extracted in Phuket. This one my sister probably needs. That was quite a fast shopping experience because I already knew what to get. It's what I usually get from here in this paper bag. But then they also recommended that I try a new product out. Or it's not really a new product. They've had it for quite some time, but I haven't used it yet. And it's their face massage oil. So this is the blue chamomile version. It's made with jojoba oil and pure chamomile essential oil. Actually, the ingredients are jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, blue chamomile essential oil, and vitamin E. My facial skin is it's dry and dehydrated. So that means it's lacking in oil and it's lacking in water. So I have to use a whole bunch of products to give it this nice sheen that you see in this video. Otherwise, I'm gonna start creasing here when I use makeup. And I think that's a function of how my skin genetically naturally is, and also what I do with the sports that I do. So especially when I go swimming, the chlorine sucks all the moisture out of my face, and I always feel dry and tight after every swim session. I just put one tap on my hands and I warm it up and I just lightly pat it all over my face. And aside from smelling really good, I've noticed some moisture really come back into my skin. And I use this most often after I go swimming. So after I swim, I come out of the pool, I shower, and then in the midst of my facial routine, I will put the face oil on. The products from Lemongrass House here in the Philippines are actually priced quite close to the prices in Phuket. It's like they just converted it from baht and then added a little on top for the shipping and the customs, but pretty much it is quite the same price, which is not the case for Lemongrass House Singapore. So yeah, so buy your Lemongrass House products here in the Philippines or in Thailand if you ever are over there. Ever since Cebu Pacific terminated their Phuket direct flights, I was kind of like concerned about how I was going to get these Lemongrass House products to myself. But then when it opened in the Philippines, I was overjoyed. So that sums up the Lemongrass House products that I personally use. And I think I'm gonna keep trying out more and more products of theirs as well as I go along. I did have some issues with other products that I tried out, like their After Sun aloe vera care product. I slathered it all over my face and I got little bumps. But when I put it on my body, I have no issues. So really, it's a trial and error process, especially since they don't test on animals. So Yeah, you just have to be careful and introduce one thing at a time to your skincare and body care regimen, and you'll find the things that really work for you. Yeah, try it out for yourself and see if it works for you. It's worked for me, but for some people it might not. And if you found this video interesting and informative, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys, see you next time.